Congressman Adam Kinzinger joins us now. He is now officially the first GOP member of Congress to call for President Trump to be removed from office. Congressman, you just posted a tweet calling for the 25th Amendment to be invoked. Talk us through this.
Yeah, it's not something I do with a light heart. It's with a very heavy heart. But the reality is the 25th Amendment was put in place to ensure that government can continue to survive in unforeseen circumstances. It's been invoked in the past, for instance, when a president goes under anesthesia for surgery. I think yesterday it became clear that the president is unmoored from reality and from his oath. And I think the vice president taking over and ensuring that the next couple of weeks are a peaceful transfer is essential right now to the continuation of this strong union.
Have you talked to your Republican colleagues about this move that you are making? Did you advise any of them in advance? And do you expect more potentially to come out in support of this with you?
Yeah, there weren't a lot of detailed discussions. You know, last night was one focus, which was getting through the vote count, obviously the whole situation here. And as I woke up this morning, I had kind of gone to bed at 3 a.m. pondering on this question. And I woke up and realized that, you know, this matters. And it's not the impeachment of the president. We don't have time for that. But it is ensuring that the federal government can continue, that conspiracies will not be driven, and that, frankly, we can live under competent leadership until a transition of power.
You're obviously the first to do it, but are you acting alone, or have you spoken to other members of Congress who you believe will be joining you?
I'm acting alone. I wouldn't be surprised if others do join me. I think there is a feeling that something needs to be done. But I have also woken up today and seen some members of Congress posting conspiracies about this wasn't Trump supporters at all. It was somehow Antifa, and the conspiracies like drove to this entire incident have started again. And I think it's important for people to stand up and tell the truth, because if people don't hear the truth, they're going to assume that the conspiracies are the truth.
Congressman, it's Hallie again. There is a bar, of course, that has to be cleared for something like the 25th Amendment. And I will tell you, I know it is not something that people take lightly. You have said yourself it is not something you take lightly because it is so serious. There would have to be support from the highest levels of government, the members of the cabinet, the vice president. Have you had any discussions, or your staff, with either people in those offices or the principals directly?
No, I have not. But I'll tell you, indications we're seeing, you know, probably some of them may be untrue, but where there's frankly smoke, there's fire, that there is kind of mass exodus of staff from the White House. Well, if you're seeing mass exodus of staff, you're seeing reports of discussions of the 25th Amendment to some level. There's some fact there. There's real concern in the executive branch about where we're at now. And look, we only have 2 weeks left, and I understand that there may be an ego and a pride involved in all of this, but the reality is far more important than our careers is the survival of this democracy. And when I saw yesterday the Capitol occupied and the president not even basically stir that up and then do the bare minimum to try to calm it down and then victimize himself, I realized that this is far bigger than any political moment today.
Yes, but many of those people who are resigning, they're members of the administration who are losing their jobs in 2 weeks anyway. Can you continue to be a member of Congress representing Republicans if you do act alone here, right? Think about what Ted Cruz, what Josh Hawley did. Think about Matt Gaetz last night pushing these conspiracy theories. You brought it up. Can you continue to say, I'm a member of this party, if that's who your party is?
Well, I certainly can for now, because I think our party is going to be in the middle of defining who we are. Now, if we don't learn anything from this and we continue to peddle the same conspiracy theories, despite, you know, many of us standing up and calling it out, then I think there's going to have to be a real heart searching. But I'm going to fight like hell to restore the GOP, to the GOP that I actually fell in love with as a kid, the one that we have lost the sense of, but the one that believes in human opportunity. And look, there's always probably likely only going to be two parties representing 350 million people. So you have to battle to restore the soul of your own.
That is going to be the biggest question facing, frankly, the GOP, members of your party in this post-Trump era, given, listen, you know this, the grip that President Trump has on his core base of supporters. Obviously, the argument is made that that doesn't represent the entire Republican Party. You say there's only 2 weeks left that the president's going to be in office. That's still 13 days, right? Would you're supporting this idea of the invocation of the 25th Amendment, would you support impeachment, despite the fact that it wouldn't get to a trial, there's just not enough time for that, as sending a signal? Is that something that you could also sign on to, or have you ruled that out?
No, I haven't ruled it out. I think we'll have to take this literally day by day. I mean, I don't want to impeach just for the sake of impeaching and knowing that it's not going to have an effect. That makes it political again. The reality is we're in a survival mode for this government. We will endure. We're going to come out stronger, but we have to take this day by day. We have to put aside our concern for our own re-elections. My goodness, we were just sworn into our new terms. We have to worry about the democracy and the union and move forward. And I think we will. I think the 25th Amendment's the best way for the continuation of that, but we'll take it moment by moment.
But when we talk about fighting to preserve our government, it's elected leaders who are part and parcel with breaking it down. These other members of Congress, you were working with them. You knew them before you all had President Trump in your life. Do you believe the Matt Gaetz, the Jim Jordan, the Josh Hawleys, the Ted Cruz, do you believe they actually believe what they're saying right now?
So here's I think it falls into two camps. One camp doesn't believe what they're saying, but they're making a lot of money on it, getting a lot of retweets, and everybody knows their name now. That's what they want. There are probably a few people that really do believe this. That's actually a little more frightening. But either way, we have to call this out. Our party, conservative values are basically that a kid born in the worst environment should have the same opportunity as a kid born in the best environment. All this culture war stuff we've been engaged in isn't that. We can continue to debate policy. That's important to do. But we can do it without hating the other side. And this is really going to be the fight of our generation.
Congressman, I have to tell you, over the last, 18 hours that we've been working, I've obviously been reaching out to a lot of my sources in Washington, in and around the White House. And when you say the words 25th Amendment, I'm telling you, people get kind of tense, right? Because it is so significant. Can you take us, you said you were thinking about this at 3 a.m. As you were leaving the Capitol, going to bed. When was the moment that you decided you knew you needed to do this?
Well, I knew I needed to do it this morning when I woke up and I saw that these conspiracy theories were continuing. But I really
so that's what put you over the edge. This idea that there were these. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's what put you over the edge. The fact that there are these conspiracies out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious that there are people that their own political survival demands that they create a different narrative to what happened yesterday, and creating a different narrative is going to lead to something like this happening again, or maybe worse. But I began to ponder this issue, frankly, when I saw people destroying the Capitol building. And I saw my colleagues, I wasn't on the floor at the time, in fear for this mob that was coming. That's when I knew that it's no longer about politics. It's now about the restoration of our democracy.
Well, the mob may be coming for you, or at least the president is certainly going to. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, I've been to combat. This is political combat, and I just need to be able to look at myself in the mirror. I don't need this job. I like it because I like being able to impact things and represent the 16th District of Illinois. But you know what? If it's time to move on, it's fine. I've been here 10 years. Do what's right, and honestly, it makes it a lot more peaceful in your life.
All right, then. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. Congressman Adam Kinzinger.